All right, we're back. All right, happy Memorial Day, everybody. Hope you guys had a good, nice long weekend. Let's go ahead and get started in a seat. So just finding that comfortable seated position, sitting up nice and tall, eyes closed down. Maybe just give yourself a couple of shoulder rolls. Just relax those shoulders, work out any stress that you might be holding there. Let's go a couple circles backwards, and we'll switch. We'll go a couple forward. Good, then just soften those shoulders down and back. And sitting up nice and tall as we take that big breath in, filling those lungs, sitting up even taller. And as we exhale, open the mouth side out. Again, big breath in. Really fill those lungs, sit up nice and tall. And exhale. Good, one more time. Big breath in. Put as much air as you can. And exhale, side out. Good, now close out the mouth. Again, just continuing that really big breath in through the nose. So think about filling the lowest part of the lungs, the middle, all the way up into that upper chest, into the collarbones. And with the mouth closed, you can still make that sighing sound as you breathe out through the nose. Just really trying to slow down that breath. Have a lot of control, awareness of the breath. Good, then bring those fingertips out to the sides. We're gonna flip those palms, reach it up nice and tall. Good, exhaling. You can bring those palms together, pull those arms back a little bit, and then exhale those hands to heart center. Excuse me. And reaching those arms out to the side, reach it up nice and tall. And exhale those hands down. One more time, reach those arms up and back. This time we're gonna bend into that right elbow. So pat yourself on the back. That left hand is gonna reach for it. Draw that ribcage up, press that head back a little bit more. And then we'll find that really gentle bend over to your left side. And then bring it back up. And then we'll switch sides. So bending into that left elbow, right hand reaches for it. Just press that head back, feeling that gentle stretch through that tricep, the back of the arm. And then we'll bend it over to your right side. We'll bring it back up, reaching those arms up. Draw those elbows down, open up through that chest. Inhale it back up. Good, exhale it down. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, draw those elbows down. We're gonna interlace those fingers behind the back. So draw those knuckles down towards the ground first. So bring those hands away from those hips, core tight. And so try to prevent any arching. We just want that big stretch through the shoulders. And then we'll release those arms up overhead. Exhale, finding that gentle twist over to that right side. So sit up nice and tall on that inhale. Exhale, see if you can find a little more twist. Good, inhale, we'll bring it back to center. Reach it up nice and tall. Exhale, twist it to the other side. Again, inhaling that length. And exhale, twist. And bring it back to center. Just go ahead and walk those hands forward, folding over those shins. Good, then walk those hands back. We'll switch that cross the leg. We'll add in those twists. So just reach the arms up, twist it over to that left side to start. So lengthen on the inhale, exhale, twist. And bring it back to center, reach it up and twist. Good, bring it back to center, reach those arms up and exhale those hands down as we fold. Yeah, they will walk those hands back. Let's just go and come to a child's pose for a couple breaths. So we're going to bring those toes together, bring those knees a little bit wider. So maybe bringing those knees all the way out to mat distance. Sit those hips back, reach those arms forward, and then soften your head down. So really press into those fingers to press your hips back. You want to feel the lengthening through the spine. So feeling that space between each individual vertebrae. Staying a little bit more active through those palms. Good, then we'll rise on up. Go ahead and bring those knees together. So the knees are touching, send those hips back, then slide those forearms or elbows back to those knees. We're gonna reach that right arm out, turn that thumb down, bringing that hand to the tailbone. Big breath in, and then exhale, we'll twist, open up. Good, inhale it back down. Good, exhale, twist. Good, inhale it back down. And exhale, twist, open up, gazing over that shoulder. Good, exhale, bring it back down, switching sides. So just hook that right elbow to that knee. Left hand comes behind the back. Big breath in, exhale, twist, open up. Inhale it back down. Good, exhale, twist, open up. Inhale it back down. Good, last time, twisting, opening it up. And inhale it back down. Okay, so we're gonna slide the hips forward, so the right over those knees. Those arms are reaching forward. Grip those fingertips into the mat, and then we'll soften that head down. So stretching out through the shoulders, that upper back. One more breath. Good, then lower those forearms down. And we're gonna come forward into that plank. So step those feet back really strong through those legs, through the core, just as pulling forward. We'll breathe it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, good. Now 1, from here, keep gripping those forearms, press those hips up and back. And then from here, we can start to walk those feet forward a little bit more. So we're coming into what's called the dolphin dog. So pressing the shoulders behind those elbows. Again, bring that slight bend to the knees. Really press that tailbone up. Press those heels down to the mat. One more breath. And then walk it back to our plank. And then exhaling those hips down. Point the toes, drawing those elbows back as we lift up through the crown of the head. Thinking about lengthening out through the neck, through the spine. And we'll soften it down. Go ahead and press it back into that child's pose. So again, it can be as wide in those knees as you would like. And one more breath. And then make your way back up onto those hands and knees. Go ahead and step it back to your plank. And then exhaling those hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Then holding that. Keep that big breath in through the nose. That big breath out. And now we'll inhale on the toes. Bend into those knees, look forward, step those feet top of the mat. Inhaling that half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, we're gonna rise to standing. Reach it up nice and tall. Exhale, draw those elbows down. Feel go out those arms. Inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, draw those elbows down. Interlace those fingers. Open up through that chest. Good. Now bend into those knees. If you need to release your hands during this, if the shoulders are a little bit too tight, you can't. Otherwise, just hold it forward. Let that head hang nice and heavy. And now we'll release those hands down to those shins. Bend the knees a little bit more. Flatten out that back. Okay, now we're going to bend into that right knee a little bit more as we twist, reaching that left arm up. And then exhale it down as we fold to the other side. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Twisting, bending into that left knee as that right arm reaches up. Then exhale that hand down as we fold. Plant those hands, step it back to our plank. Shift that weight forward, shoulders are over those fingertips as we lower. Point those toes, lifting that chest. Maybe you press it all the way up into that upward facing dog. Then exhale, we can send those hips up and back into that down dog. And again, inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, step those feet, top of the mat. Half lift on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise. Exhale, draw the elbows down, feel good. Inhale it back up. Good. Exhale again, draw it down. Interlace those fingers. Open up through that chest. Exhale, fold. Flatten out the back on the inhale. And exhale, plant those hands, stepping those feet back to our plank. As we lower, inhale, lift. And exhaling those hips to the sky, downward facing dog. And one more breath. Inhale on the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, step those feet top of the mat. Half lift on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale those elbows down. Inhale, reach it back up. And exhale the elbows down. Interlace fingers, open that chest. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, we'll release those hands down. Step it back to our plank. Lower it down. Inhale, lift. And exhale those hips up, down dog. And 2 more breaths. And inhale on the toes. Exhale, step those feet, top of the mat. Inhaling that half lift. And exhale, fold as we bring those big toes together to touch. We're gonna inhale, rise up to standing, reach it up nice and tall. Then exhale, sink those hips down into our chair. Breathe here, sink those hips down as low as you can. Maybe you work those hips all the way down so those thighs are parallel to the ground. Good, breathe, nice and strong inhales and exhales. Good, now we're gonna bring those hands to heart center. As we rise up, we're gonna bring that left leg up and then out. So coming into that tree pose. Okay, so you can bring the toes down to the ground if you need a little bit more balance, okay? Or maybe you bring that foot all the way up to that inner thigh. Staying strong through the core, really strong through this standing leg. So the glute, the quad, the toes are really tight, gripping into the mat. If you want to extend those arms up towards the ceiling, you can. And then bring those hands back to heart center. We're gonna take a big step back into that lunge. Okay, so a little work through those legs. Okay, reaching those arms up, core is tight. Okay, so bend into that front knee. Now, if you're feeling a good work through the muscles and the legs here, you can just stay here, okay? If you want a little bit more challenge, we're gonna lower down, tap that knee. Okay, bring it right back up. Good, lower it down, tap, bring it back up. Okay, last one. Okay, so everybody with me here, lower that knee down, and then we're gonna hold it here. Hands will come to heart center, and then we'll twist. We'll hook that left elbow across that thigh. Pressing those hips forward as you lift that chest, and then twist, looking over that shoulder. Good, bring it back to center. Lower those hands down, straighten that front leg, pull the toes back. Good, we bend into that front knee. We're gonna step both feet up to the top of the mat and fold. Inhale, we'll rise to standing. Exhale, sink those hips down into that chair. Again, if you try and sink those hips down as low as you can. And now bring the hands to heart center. We're gonna rise up nice and strong, bringing that right knee up and then out. So plant that foot on the calf, or maybe you reach or grab that foot. Bring it to that inner thigh. Really, really strong through this left leg. Grip the toes into the mat. Okay. So you light up those muscles in the calf, the ankle, and really, really strong through the thigh, the hamstring, and even into your glute. And maybe you start to extend those arms up overhead. And now bring those hands back to heart center. We're gonna bring that knee forward. We're gonna take that big step back into that lunge. Okay, so maybe you just hold it here for a couple breaths. Okay, or if you wanna challenge it a little bit, slowly lower down, tap that knee, bring it back up. Good, lower down, tap, bring it back up. Okay, now everybody go ahead and lower it down. Good, bringing those hands to heart center. Now we're gonna twist. Right elbow is gonna hook across that thigh. Belly is tight, lifting the chest, and then twist. Look over that left elbow. Good, now we'll bring it back to center. Straighten that front leg, pull those toes back. Stretching out that calf and hamstring of that left leg. And now we bend into that knee. Go ahead and step both feet back to our plank. Shift that weight forward as we lower down. Inhale, lift. And exhaling those hips to the sky, down dog. Let's go through all of that. One more round. Good, inhale on the toes. Bend the knees, step or hop those feet, top the mat. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Exhale, sink those hips down to that chair. And bring those hands to heart center. As we rise up, bring that left leg up. Okay, bring the foot to the ankle or the inner thigh. Hands at heart center. As we find that balance, start to reach those arms up. Okay, so maybe you keep those arms reaching up as we bring that knee forward. Then take that big step back into that lunge. Okay, then 3 lunges. We're gonna lower it down, tap. Bring it back up and lower and back up. Last time, everybody, lower it down. Hands will come to heart center as we twist that left elbow across. With me, there we are. Good, then bring it back to center, straighten that front leg, pull those toes back. Good, rebend into that knee. We're gonna step both feet to the top of the mat as we fold. Inhale, we'll rise. Exhale, sink those hips down into that chair. Then bring those hands to heart center. As we rise, we're gonna lift that right leg up, bring that knee out, foot to the inside of that leg. And then maybe you start to extend those arms up, staying really tight through the core, through that standing leg. Again, you can try and keep those arms lifted as we bring that knee forward. Take that big step back into that lunge. Lower it down, tap, and back up, and tap, back up. Last time, everybody go down. Hands come to heart center as we twist. Hook that right elbow across that thigh. Press into those palms, twist, look over that shoulder. Good, bring it back to center, straighten that front leg, pull those toes back as we fold. Good, then rebend into that knee, plant those hands, step it back to a plank, and lower down. Inhale, lift. And exhaling those hips up, downward facing dog. You know, inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, step those feet up to the top of the mat. We're just gonna hang out in a forward fold. So take a half lift. Exhale, fold. Just let those arms hang heavy. Ease in between the legs, just those gentle sways from side to side. And now inhale, we're gonna rise all the way up to standing. Okay, we're gonna take a big, big step open to that right side. Okay, so you guys are gonna come onto the long edge of the mat. Okay, turning the toes out just slightly. We're gonna lunge into, so it'll be your left leg. I'll mirror you guys. Try and keeping that left heel grounded down, chest lifted back nice and flat. Then we'll keep those hips a little lower and just bring it over to your right side. Good, bring it back to center. We'll go over to the left and center, over to the right and center, over to the left and center. Last one, over to that right side. Good, then bring it back to center. Turn those toes in, bed flat back, and then exhale, fold. Walking those hands back a little bit more. And then inhale, we're gonna rise back up. Okay. We're gonna pivot, turn the left toes out, right toes pivot in. So we want those feet perpendicular to each other. So that left heel is intersecting the heel of that back foot. Okay, so tee out those arms, bend into that front knee. Chest is straight up and down, rib cage is down. Let's lower that left forearm down as we sweep that right arm up and over. If you want to slide this left hand down towards that calf or ankle, you can. Inhale, we'll rise back up, flipping that palm, reach it up and back. Get a rebend. Tee out those arms. And lower that forearm down, open up through that chest. And inhale, rise back up. Reverse it. And then this time we'll tee out those arms, straighten that front leg. Reach that hand forward first. We can lower that hand down towards the shin. Open up through that chest, reaching that right arm up towards the ceiling. Good, so again, we don't want a ton of weight in this hand. We want to be using the core and those leg muscles to keep that chest lifted. Then inhale, we're gonna rise back up. Step those feet to the front. Take a breath. And then we'll go to that other side. So we're gonna go this way. Big step back with your, too far, with your left leg now. So we're gonna lunge into your right side. Keep the hips low, go back to center, and then over to the right, or to the left side. Center, over to the right, center, to the left. Center, one more time each way, over to the right, center, to the left, and center. Bring those toes and heels out, nice flat back, and exhale, fold. Inhale, we're gonna rise back up, bringing those hands to the hips. We're gonna pivot, turn The right toes out, bend into that knee, tee out those arms. Lower that forearm down as we sweep that left arm forward. Inhale, we'll rise back up, reverse it. So reach that right arm up and back. And then reach out arms, lower that forearm down, reaching that left arm forward. Inhale, rise back up, reverse it. And then we'll tee out those arms, straighten that front leg, reaching that right hand forward. Lower that hand down, open up through that chest, reaching that left arm up. And inhale, we're gonna rise back up, stepping those feet to the front of the mat, reaching it up nice, the arms up nice and tall. Exhale, fold. Flat back on the inhale. And exhale, we'll plant those hands down, stepping those feet back to our plank. Lower down. Inhale, lift. And exhale, those hips up to the sky. Downward facing dog. Now let's inhale. That right leg up to the sky. We're gonna step that right foot outside that right hand. That knee lowers down. And we're gonna twist. Right arm is gonna reach up. And then exhale, lower that hand down. Do a little baby push-up. Just as far as you can, as far as that flexibility is allowing. Push it back up, lift that chest, twist that right arm up. Lower that hand down, push up. Bring it back up, twist. Good. Lower it down, push up. And bring it back up, twist. Then now lower that hand down. If you want to make your way all the way down onto those forearms, you can, or if you just want to stay on those hands, if you're feeling a good enough stretch there, you can. Make your way back onto those hands. Sending that foot back, downward facing dog. And then we're going to step that left leg outside, that left hand. That knee lowers down. Bring that chest forward as we twist, reaching that left arm up. Lower that hand down into that little baby push-up. Lift it back up, twisting left arm up and down into that push-up. Send it back up, twisting that arm up and lowering it down. So maybe keeping that push-up position or maybe lowering down onto those elbows. Okay, also you can stay on the hands with the arms straight. So wherever you're feeling that stretch. And then slowly come back onto those hands, sending that leg back to a down dog. Let's come forward to a plank as we lower down. Inhale, lift. And exhale, send those hips back to that child's pose. Again, those knees can be as wide as you like. Softening that chest down, breathing. Let's come back up onto those hands and knees. Just go ahead and swing those feet around. We're going to come on to our backs. Okay, guys. Hugging those knees in as we lay it back down. Now we're going to keep the right knee hugged in. Just lower that left foot down on the mat so that knee is bent. We're going to go into a half happy baby. Okay, so hand is going to come inside the knee, front of the shin. You can reach the big toe. It's a little bit more accessible, or you can reach that outside edge of the foot. Okay, we'll just pull that knee down outside that shoulder. And then if you want a deeper stretch, just go ahead and extend that left leg out straight. And if you get there, that's too much, just rebend into that knee. So thinking about pulling this right shoulder down towards the mat, it's going to start to pull that knee down towards the mat. You'll get a little bit more stretch. And then we'll release that foot. Just let that left hand reach for that knee, and then pull that knee across as that right arm reaches out. Keep that right shoulder down so you find that spinal twist. Bring that knee back to center. So we're going to just plant that right foot down, hug that left knee in. Okay, now that left arm's going to come inside the knee, front of the shin, reaching for either the big toe or the outside edge of the foot. Okay, and then just start to pull that knee down towards the ground. Okay. Maybe straighten that leg out a little bit more. And then start to extend that right leg out. So really active through this right leg, pressing through the heel and then pressing down. Keep those hips grounded down. And go ahead and release. So right hand is going to reach for that knee as you pull that knee across. Left arm reaches out. Big breath in. Exhale, maybe find a little more twist. And then bring it back up. Hugging both knees into your chest. And then we'll round that spine, bringing the forehead to the knees. Then we'll extend those legs out, reach those arms overhead, full body stretch, fingertips down through those toes. And exhaling those arms down by the sides, palms will face up. Shoulder blades will walk together. You can bring those legs a little bit wider, arms as wide as is comfortable. Big breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. Just completely relaxing. Letting yourself rest for these next couple minutes. Begin to deepen your breath. Just begin to wiggle those fingers and toes. Reaching those arms overhead, that full body stretch. Fingertips all the way down those tippy toes. And then hug those knees into the chest as we roll it over onto that right side. Bring that right arm support the head, left arm just falls in front. And then press it up to that seat. Just sitting tall. Eyes remain closed. And then inhale. Those arms up. Exhaling those hands to heart center. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your evening. Namaste. And I will see you all tomorrow at 7 a.m.